evolved to bring you the constant variety of sport, the thrill of victory, and the agony of defeat.
Good afternoon, not sports fans. Today, I'm going to try to help you out to understand sports. Switch cameras here. By explaining the game of football. We're going to be doing it as quick as we can, as simply as we can, by focusing on one aspect of the game. Today, we're going to be talking about the field. The field on an American football, in the American football game, what folks in the rest of the world call football. In America, we call it soccer. But American football is what we call football. All right, we're going to start with the field. The field that is played has a whole lot of markings on it. It's 100 yards long, about 91 meters, and 53 yards wide, and it's been that way since 1881. Now, that did change in 1912 when end zones were established at 10 yards deep. The end zone, that is this section right here, end zone, and that is where scoring happens. In one way or another, all scoring occurs there in the end zone. All right, so just imagine the football game. Every football game, American football game, is played on a rectangular field. As you can see, it is a rectangle, and it's 360 feet long, including the end zones. That's 110 meters, and 160 feet wide, or about 49 meters. That's 53 yards. All right, now you'll notice that we don't use the same measuring system. We still use a version that we call the imperial system, or the U.S. standard. And it's a good system, but if you don't know what it is, you're probably confused. So we don't use the metric system. Science does, the rest of the world does, but there are 12 inches in a foot. This is a foot. Okay, so just imagine this. There are 3 feet in a yard, and a yard and a meter are about the same. So 3 of these is 1 yard, all right? But a meter is slightly larger, okay? It's 1.09 yards. To give you an example here, this is an inch. This is the on this ruler, between 11 and 12. You can see it's just slightly longer than 2.5 centimeters. So for the purposes of our game, just basically think a meter and a yard are about the same. All right. All over the field, you see a bunch of white lines, markings, and each line, each marking, has a special meaning. The end lines, let me take away my camera so we can see properly. The end lines are right here. These are end lines. This is the end of the field. Past this point, out of bounds. You can't play there, okay? The goal line, you have to cross this marking to score points. We'll talk later about the different ways to score points and what each point is worth. But at this point, all you got to know is this is the end line. In fact, I'll change the goal line. I'll change the goal line to blue so you can see that's the goal line, okay? You'll notice when you see a game that it's often painted. Sometimes it's green. It'll have the team name here, things like that. It's decorated, but this is the end zone, and this is where you score points, okay? And that section is called the end zone. Sidelines. These are the lines along the field. Again, this would be the out of bounds. Okay, so it creates that square. If you go beyond that point, you're out. And it can mean different things at different times. We'll talk about that later. The field is cut in half here at the 50-yard line. You'll notice that the numbers, they count up 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and then they count down. So when you're watching the game, you look for the little arrow there. So it shows you what direction. Over here, it's headed that direction. Here it's headed this direction. So when you get a close-up of the field and you see, oh, 40-yard line, you look for the little arrow, and now you know which direction you're going. The yard lines are numbered at, or they're marked at a interval of 5. So 5, 10, 15, 20. As you can see, every 10 yards, they're numbered, right? So they skip the odd 15s, 25s, but they're here, and they cross all the way, as you can see. So when you look at that, you know, oh, okay, these are each 5 yards or approximately 5 meters, and these hash marks designate the one single yard. So that'd be 6, 7, 8, 9, and there's 10, right? So these are what the markings mean. That's the basically, that's your American football field. It's how it's set up. But seeing a diagram and understanding the theory of it, it's not really anything compared to seeing the real thing. And so that's why, if you've never gotten into a sport, if you've never been to a live event or felt the emotion, I want to take you to Virginia Tech University, where on October 1st in 1872, Addison Ad Caldwell walked 26 miles to be the first to enroll in classes at the new University of Virginia Tech. Today, the home of the Hokies. They love their school, and boy, do they love their sports. They have a rockin' entrance when their football players walk on the field, and I'd like to show you that today. Every football player, as they walk on the field, they slap the Hokie stone to remember everybody who came before and inspire everyone yet to come. So I'm going to show you this video. I want you to pay attention to the field as they walk out, see the markings, but particularly I want you to feel the emotion. So let's take a look, and then we'll come back to finish here in a moment.
We know you are ready for this presentation of the ACC on ESPN. Words really can't describe the atmosphere inside Lane Stadium. It is lit, Kurt. Paratroopers just dropping the flag in. LED lights all over them. And the Hokies and their faithful got to convene here in this cauldron of noise. Clemson has the grandest entrance in the sport. This is the rockinest entrance. Hokies dress in their facility across the practice field. They make the walk into this claustrophobic tunnel. They all know the lyrics, and they will sing along to Enter Sandman. That's the Hokie Stone right there. Here we go.
So you can see it's just excitement all the way down the line. Folks in Virginia, boy, they love it. So, and I do too. That's why sports is so much fun. All right, that'll do it for this edition. That's the American football field and how it works. Next time, we'll be talking about how they play the game. Thanks for joining us today. See you next time on Cliff's Quick Sports.